Valheim dev Jonathan Smars seems to be on a roll this month dropping sneak peeks. Let's get into it. Yesterday we got to take a look at a new dock build, fish, and a whole bunch more. It's a big sneak peek into what's to come. First off, let's look at these new wood beams and planks. Some seem to have iron wraps or spikes coming out of them, and are obviously not similar to the planks we currently have. Now, we don't know if any of this will be buildable, such as in the plains, we can't build any of the goblin structures. So who's to say these won't be the same? I don't want to burst anyone's bubble about a ton of new building material, but we do have to remember some things can't be built. So we don't know if what we're looking at is placeable or not. Now, one thing I have noticed about Valheim is that everything buildable does maintain a kind of symmetry to it. Things need to be able to fit together. So when you look at some of the items, if they don't seem like they'll be able to fit together repetitively, then it's likely not going to be a buildable piece. So for instance, with some of the new marble looking stone, I'm assuming we might get some build pieces from that, but I expect that to be more of a static structure situation, just like the plains buildings. I also suspect that these wood beams might be the same. They don't look like they can be built in a consistent way for what will result in a good look. And if I remember one of Devoid's rules early on, it's that things had to go together in a way that made sense. I don't see these wood pieces as being that, but I could be wrong. So my guess is while we are getting a new wood type here apparently to gather, I don't foresee all of these build pieces that we are seeing as being buildable when we get into the game. So moving on, we also have a new light source up here. This is not the same as the blue torch in the game now, but we also have to remember that Valheim has hired a new designer, and we could be seeing an overhaul of some of the old build pieces, or it could be a new torch altogether. It does seem when you look closely at it, it's some sort of short torch type of thing. It could be going into the wood, or it could be this short. Speaking of new lights and lanterns, if we swing around the corner here, you can see just that, a new wall lantern. I feel like this has popped up in an earlier video, but again, not sure if this will be a buildable item or something already in the game that you might be able to capitalize building at, but may not be craftable ourselves. Hopefully it is. I can imagine a lot of great ideas with all of these new build pieces. So in the back here we see one of these towers again, but what's most interesting is this octangle door. Almost looks like a spacey hobbit hole. In the center really looks like a wood texture, but a different type of plank with a door knocker on it. Really neat, really interesting design. But as the dev swings around here and approaches a wall of fish, we can also see some crates here. I feel like I've seen these or similar before. These are again probably not something we will build, but might be in the game elsewhere. We also get a view of the fish up on the wall. Now, I'm not a Valheim fish expert. It's a rather complex process, I find, fishing. It requires more patience than I have, but I recognize some and others I do not, such as this pink one on the ground here and these three in the back. One of them is even red. And of course the new anglerfish he puts up on the wall. This is obviously a new one. But also, what's this weird hook that shows up on the edge of the screen? I find that quite interesting. Also, if we walk back to the beginning of the video, we can see that the anglerfish jump in the water, which is a pretty cool new effect, I believe. We can also see in the background while he's walking around a view of the mistlands and the great tree Yggdrasil's roots touching down into the water. So one could assume the mistlands will be where Yggdrasil touches this world. We can see some creepy looking trees in the background as well, and the stone in this biome looks much harder and shinier than in the other biomes, and take on quite interesting formations. You can see from this angle that the area is thick with fog, which is probably going to affect visibility or instill some kind of negative effect. Hey, I wonder if this new blue light torch thingy actually repels the fog. That would explain, if it is a short light source, why it is placed up so high. And we can't end this video without taking a look at this new looking cloak. It looks like some kind of fur at first, but if you look closer, are those raven feathers maybe? That would explain why it does seem to slow his fall at the very end of the video. So what do you think about all these new possible build items? Are you excited for the Mistlands release? Leave your answer in the comments below and tell me what you're most excited to see. If you're obsessed with Valheim like me, be sure to smash that like button, and if you want to support me as a creator, please consider subscribing. Thank you and goodbye for now.